You know her as the free-spirited kook on Outer Banks, but there's a lot more to Madelyn Cline than Netflix Golden Girl. To start, did you know she was in Stranger Things Season 2? More on that later, but that brings up a really good question. Where has Madelyn Cline been our whole lives? It's impossible to say, but lucky for you, we can tell you where she's been most of her life. As a tot, Madelyn Cline was born in 1997 on December 21st. Her star sign is Sagittarius, and she grew up in South Carolina, just like Sarah Cameron. Ironically, she never made it to the Outer Banks, and still hasn't. The show was actually filmed at a nearby location, not at the Banks. Madelyn's mom is a real estate agent, and her dad is a water systems engineer, which makes us wonder, where does she get her star power? As a youngster, Madelyn attended Charleston Day School and Pinewood Preparatory School. Oh, and she's a professional dancer. No big deal. Girl can do it all, and we're not mad. The formative years. Madelyn caught the acting bug at around 11. That was when she convinced her parents to load up the car and tote her to a casting call at Millie Lewis. As fate would have it, she was picked up as an extra on the Columbia Pictures movie Nailed, later renamed Accidental Love. But her love of acting was no accident, and Madelyn was, as they say, hooked. Madelyn also started modeling because, why not? She appeared in a ton of print advertising campaigns like American Girl magazine, T-Mobile, and Next Clothing. But it was clear from the start that she was more than just a pretty face. In a few short years, Madelyn's career would go stratospheric, only natural for a born star. But she didn't know that yet, and she struggled for years, wondering if the world of acting was a good place to call home. She even enrolled in Coastal Carolina University, but it only made her miserable. So she dropped out and moved to LA to pursue acting. Her parents were less than thrilled at this risky life choice because, you know, they're parents, not fortune tellers. How could they have known that Madelyn was about to strike gold? TV changes everything. Like many struggling actors, Madelyn's intro to Los Angeles was less than glamorous. In fact, she lived with several roommates and was the only one who was unemployed and broke. But Madelyn wasn't going to be the odd man out for long. At 19, she started getting TV roles. Although she landed The Jury and Savannah Sunrise, it was a little show called Stranger Things that really blew her mind. After getting her wisdom teeth pulled, Madelyn had binged the entire first season of Stranger Things and evolved into full-fledged fangirl. So being on set with Dacre, Millie Bobby Brown, and Natalia Dyer was slightly bonkers, to put it mildly. But Madelyn stuffed her superfan status long enough to play Tina, the girl who throws a full-blown rager where Nancy gets plastered and drunkenly disses Steve. Poor Steve. But back to Madelyn. While Stranger Things was a blast, it was a pretty small role, so Madelyn kept that momentum going with roles in critically acclaimed movies like Boy Erased and The Giant. Her parts on the originals and Vice Principals only further catapulted her to must-see status. Because even if you didn't catch her in any of those previous outstanding performances, you've seen her in Outer Banks, and now you can't look away. Rockstar status. Outer Banks premiered on April 15th, 2020, with millions of people on lockdown turning to Netflix and chill for some much-needed escape and mystery. There they found Madelyn Cline as Sarah Cameron, lovable, kooky, and super environmentally aware. What's not to love? The show, which Cline describes as OC meets The Goonies meets Dawson's Creek, has garnered a massively loyal base of bingers. Off-screen, Madelyn has bonded with her co-stars and even spent much of the stay-at-home order with Drew Starkey, who lives in her building. She's loving the community and camaraderie of Banks, and so are we, but, you know, from our couches. So what does the future hold? Like Madelyn's parents, we're not fortune tellers, but we do predict really amazing things for Madelyn, both on and off the screen. What do you think? Is there a specific role you'd love to see Madelyn play? Maybe a superheroine or a literary figure? Let us know in the comments below.